Hello and welcome everybody to release day of Edge of Eternities. For those of you watching the video right now, I do apologize for the delay. The Arena did not release Edge of Eternities until, I guess, 2.5 hours past when it was supposed to. There were some server issues, but now we're going to be up. I'm going to post this video as soon as possible. We are sitting at rank number 39, but of course this month is going to end soon, but I'm excited. It has been basically, 5 or 6 days since the early access event. I've had some time to marinate the thoughts over the last few drafts that I had, and excited to move into this draft and explore Edge of Eternities draft. All right, now before we head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Match the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want booster boxes of Edge of Eternities, or you wanted some singles for your standard, modern, pioneer, or even your constructed, commander decks, check out TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Additionally, check out heavyplay.com for all your Match the Gathering supplies and accessories needs. Heavyplay.com is the place to go to if you want deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, everything you need to make sure you're totally ready to go for your next tabletop gaming experience. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. They're also at every convention. Swing by their booth, tell them Paul sent you to get 10% off in person as well. Alrighty. Here we go. Moonlit Meditation, 2 and a blue, enchant artifact or creature controlled. The first time you create one or more tokens, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of enchanted permanent. It's a bit of a build around. I'm not entirely sure how strong this one is. We have Dawnstrike Vanguard, which is a nice payoff for going wide. 4/5 lifelinker. At the end of your turn, if you have 2 or more tapped creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. There is Hymn of the Faller, which I actually really like. 1 and a black, surveil 1. Then you draw a card and you lose a life. If a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, you get to draw another card. I'm kind of feeling some control. So I kind of want to do this. Like, this is good in both a black-red and a blue-black control deck. At common, we have, there's Halia, if you want to do the green-white counters deck. But I don't want to take a signpost uncommon right away. Zookeeper Mechan is a good common. Embrace Oblivion is good if you have enough fodder, and so is Cryo Shatter. But let's take Hymn of the Faller, because it's a cool uncommon that I want to explore in maybe some kind of a control shell. All right, moving on to pack 1, pick 2. At uncommon, we have Desculpting Blast. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, make a 1/1 artifact token. Totally fine. If you're a little bit defensive, making an artifact can be useful, but noting that the artifact can't actually block. Illvoid Infiltrator, 3 mana for 1/3. It's basically a scroll thief. If you play 2 or more spells, though, you get to draw a card, which can be pretty cool. Debris Field Crusher. I do like the spacecraft, so I'm really I'm willing to entertain that again. The commons look pretty weak. There is an Embrace Oblivion and a Cryo Shatter, both of which are fine removal spells, but not insane. So why don't we take the spacecraft here over some of these blue cards and see where this goes. Now, I did draft black-red in the last video, so, obviously I'm willing to do something else if that something else is available here for us. Moving on to pack 1, pick 3, we have Alpharael. 3 mana for 2/3. When it enters, draw 2, then discard 2 unless you discard an artifact card. During your turn, Alpharael has Death Touch. That's a really cool card. Another card is All-Fate Scroll. I actually think this card is good. I undervalue this card, but when you're playing especially a green-based deck with a lot of landers, you actually can draw like 4 or 5 cards with this, which can get quite strong. As far as black or red cards go, nothing really stands out. Gravepack Monoist or Gravpack Monoist is fine, but I've actually been slightly underwhelmed by this card. And Cryogen Relic is also a decent card draw effect, but I want to try the Alpharael, just because it's, again, you can't go too wrong by taking a bunch of uncommons early and then kind of try to find out what your lane should be. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll take the Alpharael and then see kind of what my second color should be. Moving on to pack 1, pick 4, we have Sunstar Lightsmith, which is a really nice card if you're doing the double spell thing. Typically at its best in a blue-white deck, but if you're red-white and you have a low curve, this card can also be fine there. There is Cerebral Download, which is a nice card draw spell, especially in the blue-black artifact control deck. I think this could be a nice top-end card to play, and I don't see a ton elsewhere. I don't see a bunch of good green cards. So you know what? Let's take the download here, and maybe, we have lots of ways to draw cards, right? Cerebral Download and Hymn of the Faller. This also digs deep. So this is interesting, an interesting start to a blue-black deck. And now we have a Depressurize, one of the better removal spells in the format. 2 mana, target creature gets -3, -0. Also, you can just kill things that are bigger, like 3/5s. For example, you can kill this with this card. Cryo Shatter is a decent removal spell. Lightless Evangel is a card I like more if I'm playing a sacrifice theme, so maybe like a black-red deck, it would be better. Roving Actuator. I actually am down on this card. I had a deck with a bunch of these, and they really underperformed. I'm not all in on Void. Let's just put it that way. I think Void is okay, but I think a card by itself should naturally be strong instead of hoping to get the Void payoff. Whereas like Hymn of the Faller is totally fine, but then if you do get Void, it's even better, right? But I don't mind paying 2 mana for an effect like this. Pack 1, pick 6. Pinnacle Killship is actually a nice top-end card. You know, I look at this, typically common artifacts end up being pretty bad, right? So I looked at this and I was like, oh, it's probably not good enough. But I actually do think it's good enough, and it's exactly the type of top-end card you want in various control decks, but I'm going to take the Steel Swarm Operator. This is definitely an indication that like the blue-black artifacts deck is available. So let's take that here. It's a blue uncommon, and it says the word artifact in it. It's got to be decent, right? All right, red certainly not open. There's a lot of good common red removal spells, and we haven't seen any of them. So I'm going to move the Debris Field Crusher to my sideboard. You know, if I get enough mana fixing, maybe we can find a world where we can play that. Pack 1, pick 7 gives us not a whole lot. Dockworker Drone is a nice card in maybe an artifact stack, but the black seems somewhat open. I actually like Starbreach Whale, so I want to try this card. Like, I know there's no artifact synergies to go with this card, but I do think, you know, it flies, it smooths out your draw early. I actually think this card is pretty decent, so I'm going to try this here. Ooh, I do like Mouth of the Storm as a good late game win condition as well. Now, I don't have as much ramp, so I do have to be mindful that this is a 7-drop, but having one of these isn't so bad. I mean, it's like having a spaceship at the top end of your curve. Orbital Pillage is a really good removal spell, but let's take the Mouth of the Storm here. Kind of feels like I should have more artifacts here, but I mean, maybe somebody's drafting the blue-red artifacts deck, for example. Halia tabled, but I don't think there was a huge indication that green-white specifically was open. Maybe white is open, but I'm just going to pass this here. And at this point, I mean, I guess I'll just take the Cryologist, but I don't really want to play it. All right, here I'll take Embrace Oblivion. I actually like this card. Now, right now, we don't have a lot of good fodder for it, but blue and black actually have lots of good cards that go with Embrace Oblivion. Cryogen Relic is really good. Virus Beetle is really good. The 3-mana 2/1 flyer that turns into 2/2 is also a totally fine option. And we don't have that much removal, so I do think this card is totally fine. Here we have All Fate Scroll versus Swarmcaller. You know, I'm going to take the All Fate Scroll. I think Swarmcaller is like kind of replacement level, and this is an artifact, and you know, if I somehow end up with more than 2 colors, I think this could be a totally fine card. Also, I'm potentially looking to ramp to the top end of my mana curve. All right, the cards on the right are kind of my maybe pile. We'll see where this goes. All right, what do we have here? Sir Vondam. Black-white for a 2/2 Vigilance Menace. Whenever another creature control dies, okay, you know, it's a 2-drop. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think this is worth it as a 2-drop on the splash. Here we have Nutrient Block as an artifact, if we cared about that. There's also Interceptor Mechan, and we do have a Debris Field Crusher. So, I mean, this is a really, really good card. I wonder, is there a world where I can go Grixis? Like, I don't know if the mana works, though. That's the problem. There's also Uthro Scanship, which is just a solid card in blue-black that's an artifact. So I think I'm going to take the Uthro Scanship here, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know how often you should be looking to draft Grixis, for example. But let's just keep it within the Dimir colors here. Don't really love the Torpedo. There's another Hymn of the Fallen. Station Monitor is a really nice uncommon. Cut Propulsion is a good removal spell. There is a Beamsaw Prospector, which I do like. And I kind of need 2 drops, but I think I want to still try taking more Hymn of the Fallens. Or Hymn of the Faller and see where this goes. Oh my gosh! We drafted a Dimir control deck and we just got past a Pack 2, Pick 3 Sweeper. So very, very happy about that. I know it just costs 6 mana and I don't really care about the mill. I mean, it's honestly one of the weaker Wraths you can play, but in blue-black specifically, that is a color combination where Wraths are actively very good. Like, I like this way more than a blue-white Wrath, for example. There's also an Alpharael, but I'm going to take Singularity Rupture here just because I want to play with the sweet, flashy rare, and it's certainly going to help us when we fall behind on board. Pack 2, pick 4. Don't really need more expensive stuff. There's a Watery Grave here, but man, Virus Beetle is kind of everything that this deck kind of wants. But there's also Specimen Freighter. When it enters, return 2 creatures to their hand, and when it attacks, defending player mills 4 cards. I gotta take the Freighter here. Honestly, a week from now, I can believe that the Beetle is the correct pick. I have an Embrace Oblivion. It's a nice cheap thing to play, but I'm gonna take the flashy Spacecraft that's an artifact for now, and see where that takes our draft. Now, if my deck ends up being a little bit too clunky as a result, I am willing to live with that. Oh, this is interesting, though. There's a Creeping Tar Pit, which is obviously awesome, but there's also an Umbral Caller Zealot, which in blue-black admittedly is just okay. It's just a 2-mana 3/2. I actually think Depressurize in most instances is going to be better. There's also Nutrient Block, Illvoid, Galeblade. I mean, I think Creeping Tar Pit is good, but I actually just think I want more Depressurizes. Like, this deck has a lot of card draw. Depressurize is a nice cheap removal spell that also happens to go really well with Hymn of the Faller. So I want to lean into that and make sure the early end of my mana curve is looking good, just because my top end is quite strong. All right, Pack 2 pick 6, we have Beamsaw, Prospector, and Divert Disaster, and Annul. I think it's between one of these 2 cards. And I'm just going to take the Prospector. Just going to play something that plays to the board and makes a lander token. That way, like, when something trades, I can sack this and then turn on the Void from Hymn of the Faller as well. Here we have Command Bridge versus Lost in Space. I don't want Hymn of the Faller number 3. We have 2 Hymn of the Fallers and a Cerebral Download, so I think we're good there on top end. I do think Lost in Space is a very good removal spell, though, and perfect for a control deck like this. Oh! Pack 2, pick 8, Alpharael. Very, very happy about that. Another Beamsaw Prospector, sure. All Fate Scroll doesn't look particularly good. Okay, we have all the Beamsaw Prospectors, which does admittedly make the Embrace Oblivion much better. This does not feel like a Mechan Shieldmate deck. I do feel like this is just worse than Beamsaw Prospector, unless I'm like super leaning into artifacts. Now, I do have a couple of Alpharaels. But even then, although I will say I do have way too many playables, which I didn't think was going to happen after pack 1. But given this, now I kind of wish that I had took some of those lands, just because it looks like we're going to have more than enough playables here. Ooh, I actually like Nutrient Block. It's totally fine. Gets me to the late game. All right, pack 3, pick 1. Icetail Explorer. You may play an additional land. I mean, it's double green, so I can't play it. Okay, you can play lands out of your graveyard. There's Cryo Shatter, which I think is going to be my pick. Again, this deck is looking to go long, and this is the perfect card that lets me not die and not get run over and get to the late game. So this is absolutely a Cryo Shatter deck. Also, Embrace Oblivion, good with Nutrient Block. What else can I cut? I guess the Whale, like, it's not an artifact. Probably the Voidforge Titan is better in this deck with double Alpharael. We're doing some Void stuff. I could probably end up shaving some number of Prospectors. We'll see. All right, pack 3, pick 2. There's a Pinnacle Kill Ship, but don't really need that. Lightstall Inquisitor is decent if you're aggressive, but we're not aggressive and it's not blue or black. So for me, it's between like Depressurize and Hull Carver. I think Depressurize is largely better. So I'm just going to take all the Depressurizes here and see where that goes. This is my late game win condition. So is this. So is potentially this. All right, I'm gonna move my curve back the other way, and like almost certainly going to play some number of the Beamsaw Prospectors. All All right, pack 3, pick 3. That's a grav kill. Pretty easy grav kill here for us. Premium removal. So now we have 3 depressurizes, a grav kill, a bounce spell, and a cryo shatter. Noting that Embrace Oblivion might actually not make the deck. And Nutrient Block is like fine, but certainly cuttable if my deck is awesome. Another grav kill. Okay. We're going to take them all. We have a couple of card draw spells. We have a download. We have the Alpharaels, which also draws us cards. We have the Scan Ship, which also draws us cards. So honestly, it's mostly just us making sure we have enough ways to win the game. We only have 5 creatures here. But I'm feeling pretty good about this. Blue-black, there's another Uthro Scan Ship, but there's also a Monoist Sentry. Monoist Sentry is really interesting just because I do have a couple of stations in my deck. And it kind of blocks everything, but I feel like I'm just going to take another Scan Ship here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my gosh, another Alpharael. There's also Virus Beetle. It can't be better than this though, right? Man, this deck draws so many cards. Yeah. What is Darkness? Oh, it's a fog. Okay. This does incentivize me to play a lot more artifacts though, I will say. Right now we're on 6 artifacts. Oh, this card's great. Dauntless Scrapbot. Well, I can't believe it's that late, but I mean, it is day 1 of the format, so we definitely want to try to get our artifact count higher here if possible. So I'm going to take a look at some of the stuff I have in my sideboard and see if we need to play that. Another Beamsaw Prospector, another Station Monitor. I have 3 of these, so I guess I'll take Embrace Oblivion. But I think I have so much removal that I don't really need that card. And perhaps the second, like, I feel like I might deck myself. I think maybe the second Scan Ship was a little bit greedy. Wow, that's a super late Plasma Bolt. I don't need Decode Transmissions. I guess I'll take a Worm Whale Sweeper, but probably not going to play. Like, I'm not very good at stationing up things, so I probably should play some of these creatures. Mechan Shieldmate. That's a late Bruntar. I do like the Bruntar a lot. Yeah, you know, one thing I'm wondering is, should I just play the 2-mana 3/2s over Beamsaw Prospector? Like, I do think the Prospector is mostly better, but for the sake of artifact synergies, like with triple Alpharael, like maybe I should be playing those instead. They're also better at stationing up things. So, you know, those are all some things I need to consider here. Let's kind of take a look at what we have here, see what we're missing, and then try to fill out this deck. Now, again, our spells are great. Triple Depressurize, double Grav Kill with a Singularity Rupture. So that's 6 solid ways to kill things along with a bounce spell. 3 card draw spells. Alpharael, which is really good at digging as well. Some big bounce effects. We have... And then like a couple of big ways to kind of win the game in the late game. So, okay. I mean, I do not mind this setup at all. Let's take a look at our sideboard here and see what we would like to play. Yeah, number 1, I don't think the Embrace Oblivions are necessary. I don't have like enough Virus Beetles, Cryogen Relic type effects. So I just don't think I have enough fodder here. And I believe that my removal is generally good enough where I don't need more cards like the Embrace Oblivion. Also, we'll note that my curve is very high right now, so I'm really going to focus on like some number of Beamsaw Prospector, Cryo Shatter, and Mechan Shieldmate. Yeah, I think my early game is the biggest issue, so, you know, I think for the sake of synergy, okay, I'm going to play the Mechan Shieldmates. I think I do feel like the Beamsaw Prospector is likely a better card, and we might make that swap later down the line. But with triple Alpharael, I just feel like my artifact count is actually not that high, right? It's 7. So I feel like having more is much like being able. The difference between discarding an artifact or just 2 cards is so big to the point where I'm going to try the Shieldmate over the Prospector just because I thought it was relatively close anyways. So let's go ahead and go with that. But again, I don't think this is a particularly super strong card, but something we need just to help us get to the late game and something that I need to be mindful of to keep to pitch to the Alpharael. So let's go ahead and try this. We have a nice little Dimir control deck and see how this plays out. Now, do I want... It says 13 blue, but I guess I have a double black card late. Hymn of the Faller finds us black sources too. All right. Let's try something like this. Let's see how this goes. All right, now before round 1 starts, just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all this content and wanted to support the channel in a different way, I have a Patreon channel. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Access to the Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a really great way to join an awesome community of folks looking to up their limited game as well. Really amazing people, even when I'm not around. Lots of people really just wanting to help everybody get better. It's a good community. All right. Gonna keep this hand here. 2 islands, a swamp, double Alpharael, Uthro Scanship, and a Hymn of the Faller. I really need to figure out how to pronounce this card. So in the comments, please. Alpharael. Why couldn't they just make it easier? All right, anyways, nothing to do turn 2. I mean, I'm totally fine playing Hymn of the Faller on turn 2 if needed. My preference would be to not do that. Also, the question is, like, do I discard this or do I just discard an artifact? All right, let's go with Island here. Oh my gosh, that is just a lot of Alpharaels. Can I hold? You know what? I'm going to get greedy here and hold off on it just because getting the Void here is so good. Also, look at my hand. Like, I'm just going to rummage through a bunch of stuff anyways. All right, Alpharael. Okay. I'm just going to pitch the 6-drop here. I'm going to try to win with pure card advantage. Can we do it? The thing is, I will note, this is kind of weird, because like blue-black wants to be controlling, so why does this have Death Touch like on my turn? Right? It's just a very weird design, given what Dimir is allegedly trying to do. Like, I just I don't get it. Give it lifelink. Give it lifelink on my turn, not Death Touch. Huh. Let's keep pitching Alpharaels. Do I want to pump this? I do. Like I said, I'm not really interested in erasing my opponent, right? Which is kind of why I just feel like Death Touch on my turn is just such a... I suppose a 3-mana 2/3... I suppose a 3-mana 2/3 with this effect is already pretty good. So maybe that's why. Alright, or play Pangolin hitting me for 4. Sheesh. I think I probably need to do something about this card, so... I mean, I can also play the Alpharael, but like... No, I think I'm gonna go with Lost in Space here. I'm at 13 life. Dubious Delicacy can deal 3 damage to me. I don't think there's too much they can do here. Do I want another scan ship? No. I kind of want more action. I don't need more card draw. Okay, so this is going to be a 5/3, I suppose. Let's play Alpharael, try to find a removal spell. We did find a removal spell. I'm at 13. We can pitch this. Play that. That is a 5-3 though. That's like super annoying. I mean, they have 3 cards. We'll keep this one around and like force them to kill the scrap bot. What the hell does this card do? You draw that many cards. Oh, wow. Requiem Monolith is a pain. Okay. We have 21 cards left. We're going to be taking a bunch of damage. They can only... Wait. They can only activate this as a sorcery. Okay, I'm going to block. I don't think they read that part. Oh, that is not ideal. All right. So what do I want to do? Let's get a Voidforged Titan out here. Let us station it up. Play an island. Let's attack. Still not going to play Hymn of the Faller. We have 20 cards left. They can crack this to, I don't know. Okay, they used it to gain life, which is fine. Now, here's the thing. For me, like, I think I'm going to use the lander here to get the land. The other consideration is to wait until my turn so that I can play a Hymn of the Faller for 2, right? But because it's so likely that I'm going to play a Graph Kill next turn, I'm going to trigger Void anyways. That's my thought process here. Also, by the way, this Uthro Scanship, I'm going to just say, right, like, it feels worse than SideQuest card collection. You dig 1 card less, and I mean, like, sometimes it's not the easiest thing in a pure control deck to have enough stuff to station this, so I don't know. I could be wrong, though. But SideQuest card collection feels like it was a stronger card. Okay, well, now they only have a Virus Beetle, so maybe I should wait so I can trigger this as well. Alright, we'll wait. Alright, so... Okay. So let's go ahead and use this to get a Swamp. And then we'll play Hymn of the Faller. I'll keep depressurized, and then we'll draw another card. Play a land, keep up Graph Kill. Now we're drawing another card with Voidforged Titan. I wish I had more life gain, though. I have double Hymn of the Faller and Voidforged Titan. Like, we take a lot of damage. We do take a lot of damage. We also draw lots of cards. Oh, 0-point Ballad. Yep. That's rough. Just because, like, I don't actually have, like, a million ways to win the game. I'm going to hold off on him of the Faller here, just because I have 3 removal spells. Or play Pangolin, sure. Oh, you know, I should probably kill this, huh? I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to give them the card. That's the thing. But the thing is, they can do it again. And I don't love that. Look, they're going to play another creature this turn, and I'm going to Graph Kill. Alright. Man, I sure hope I have enough ways to win. I'm just gonna, like, keep all my cards. Ooh, that's a Wrath. Okay, let's draw some more cards. Okay, there is a win condition. We have 7 cards left. Okay. Territorial Bruntar, sure. They have 20, 15, what is this? Then any number of target players each mill half their library rounded down. Couple of options here. Milled a bunch of lands, okay. This one's okay, because, like, the creature dies. Alright, Mouth of the Storm, you need to win us the game. If my opponent has a removal spell, I'm basically in lots of trouble. Alright, I need to prevent any card draw shenanigans. Okay. No! They have a removal spell for Mouth of the Storm! Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad. My pure control deck is not getting there. It is not getting there. We've drawn our entire deck and we just don't have enough ways to win. Oh my goodness. I mean, this like red-black grind you out deck is actually kind of... Look at this, like everything is like a 2-for-1. It's like, it's very annoying. I will say this thing, it was like kind of underwhelming. Just usually like the signpost card gives you like more defensive stats. I don't know, it's like I said, that card is still very weird to me. Also, this monolith is very, very good. But yeah, I mean, I literally don't think I have enough ways to win the game here. I guess I kind of want them to draw cards. Like, maybe they go a little bit too nuts with the Requiem Monolith. 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16 lands. Nutrient block. Oh, no. Oh, no. We played ourselves, folks. I needed a way to loot my deck. I decked myself. Oh, that feels bad. Alright, you know what? When you're trying to... Like, when you're pushing things a certain direction, it's like... Sometimes you'll find out things. In this instance, well... Not enough ways to win. Maybe I want this whale in there, okay? Maybe I want this whale in there as just another random big way to win the game. Okay, maybe we want the whale. Maybe I shouldn't be pitching any of my spaceships. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna cut Nutrient Block here. Like, I think it's the decent card, but when my deck already has so much card draw, like, I don't care about the cycling so much, and I'd rather have the 2-mana 3/2s as ways to turn on my spacecrafts. So for that reason, I'm gonna cut it. But I think in most artifacts decks, it's the type of card that you're probably going to want. Alright, let's try this. Let's be a little bit more mindful of our discards here. Let's play this for its warp cost. See if we can find something to play on curve. Ooh, that's it. Wow, that's really exciting. Yeah, I kind of want both. Like, I'm just gonna find lands, so... Starfighter Pilot, okay. I'm gonna take 2 here and try to get a little more value off of Hymn of the Faller. Like, next turn I can go depressurize into Hymn of the Faller, and I think that's pretty good. I guess I could have probably been the scan ship. Now, if they put something on the pilot, then I'll kill it, but... I mean, it might be correct to just do it anyways, but... I also feel like there's a decent chance I'm going to want to use depressurize on a bigger creature here. Like if they play a 3/3, for example, I can go depressurize into Hymn of the Faller. Wow, Galactic Wayfarer into the graveyard? Okay, their hand is loaded. Interesting. Okay. Dies to put its counters on target creature. Okay, so let's depressurize this. Okay, I don't... As much as I like Mouth of the Storm, I need lands. Alright, there you go. We drew a land. That's good. And our hand is obviously very nice. We'll take some damage here. Next turn, you know, we'll play a Uthro Scanship. Interesting that they chose to warp this. So I guess they have another play. Oh, wow. Pulsar Squadron Ace. Okay. And they just made a thing. This gets bounced. Now I have some interesting options here. I can play Starbreach Whale, which is nice in the sense that it more credibly puts something in play that they have to play through. So I actually think I'm going to do that, because this actually makes them potentially overextend more, which might not seem to be the case. All right, I don't need the land, but I'll take the Grav Kill. And now if they have like a Banishing Light, they'll use their Banishing Light, etc. If they have a combat trick, we'll make them use it. Just because a 3/5 here sizes up so well against this board. And yeah, I mean, they can have the focus card, it's fine. I mean, they have to have something here, right? It's not just they're keeping my creature around. No way. Was that a bluff attack? Okay, here we go. Here's a bite spell of some kind. Okay. So now they have a 4/5 and a 3/3, and I have a couple of Graph Kills in play. I think getting two large creatures, a 4/5 and a 3/3, and milling them for a significant amount is pretty decent here. Given the fact that I have 2 Graph Kills and a Specimen Freighter, like, if they decide to go double creature this turn, we're still okay with that. Rayblade Trooper. So it's a 3/3. Whenever non-token creature you control with a +1/+1 make... Okay, sure. Let's play the Scanship. Discard a land. Play the Mechan. The question is, do I want to pump this and take 3? Yeah. Because they can play this and put a counter on their creature anyways. Oh, that's really good. Oh, man. And they get to draw a card. Holy cow. Okay. Well, I mean, this is obviously a good opportunity for us to bounce both creatures. But that is certainly very strong. Let's pump this up. And then next turn we can pump this up, and then that'll help pump this up. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Hey, our opponent has a really cool tokens deck going here. Now they can play a Rayblade Trooper. Which, now it's like, do I want to Graph Kill this? I don't know. They get to draw a card here. Man, this enchantment is actually kind of a problem. Oh, it exiles. Ooh, that's nice. So they don't actually get the token. But Hymn of the Faller still works. They conceded? Wow. Alright. Well, I mean, I was getting a lot of control there. I didn't think that I was necessarily going to win that game. I felt like I was ahead, for sure. But I didn't think I was going to win that game, like 100%. But you know what? I'll take it. Let's move on. All right, we are on the play. Island, Swamp, Swamp. Steel Sworn Operator. Turn 2, very good. Oh, this is actually awesome. Because you can actually use the Steel Swarm Operator here to play the Scrapbot and then activate the ability of the Lander token, which is amazing. Less amazing because our opponent depressurized, but you know, it's fine. All right, we'll play the Scrapbot here. Dubious Delicacy. What? Look, all this removal. Land would be great. Okay, you know what? I'll take Alpharael. Draw 2, discard. Couldn't find a land, unfortunately. But I guess we'll keep this for now. Self-craft Mechan, okay. So now they have a 4/5 and they drew a card. I have Depressurize. Man, this is brutal. Like, I'm not entirely sure what I need to do here. I think I just need to do this to try to hit a land. So, scry to the graveyard, hit a land, good, okay. Look, it's not perfect, but I gotta do what I gotta do, right? Like, I want to get value off him of the Fallen, or Faller, but gotta do what you gotta do. And now I get to sack my lander. So basically that allowed me to get 2 mana sources in play. And then next turn I have a lot more flexibility with what to do. I have a Lost in Space for the Mechan. If I draw land number 6, then I can also play Depressurize if they play something smaller. So a lot of different options here. Entropic Battlecruiser. 4 mana for 3/10. Whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life. 3/10 Death Touch. Whenever the spacecraft attacks, each opponent discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. Okay? Sure. Alright, so let's crack this for blue, sure. Alright, and we drew that land, which is very nice. And this is a 3/10, so this is literally the perfect card to depressurize. So that, I like that about that. The issue is I don't have like a great play here. I mean, honestly, Lost in Space on the Mechan seems pretty good, so I might just do that while they're tapped out. I don't know if they want this card or not, but it's unlikely. Well, no, there's a chance they play a 4-power creature here, because I kind of wanted to warp the Starbreach Whale, but it's probably better to keep up Depressurize here. I actually want the land here. This is kind of a controlling matchup. Hitting lands is pretty nice, and being able to go Voidforge Titan plus Depressurize next turn, I think is something that I'm very interested in. Okay, Illavoy Operative. Okay. Oh, still not enough, okay. Let's play the land. Let's attack. They have 4 black mana. Do I want to play a Starbreached Whale or a Voidforged Titan? Like, they could have Grav Kill, right? I think I'm just going to play the Whale here. Not with Warp. Let's just cast it. Keep up Depressurize. Alright. Oh, wow. Specimen Freighter and Uthros. Return up to 2 target non-spacecraft creatures. I feel like I just need to keep both. And it's going to be unlikely that I'm going to want to bounce 2 things next... Actually, no. I might. Steel Swarm Operator. That's the best Depressurize ever. man. Oh, okay. Okay. That was good. Specimen Freighter to bounce both of these two things. Seems alright. I'm at 19 though. I think I'm just going to hit them for 2. And then we'll just play a Voidforge Titan. Now, next turn, if I bounce their things, I can draw cards. So, I do like that. And if they play a big creature, it sets me up well for the Specimen Freighter here as well. Alright, nothing out of the opponent. Alright, we draw a card. Kind of split the difference here because I can station this again. Alright, got a lot of value, and that 2-mana removal spell to kill the 3/10 was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, alright. The whale actually seems pretty nice as just another random big flyer that you can play early. I think that card's probably going to play out better than it looks. Like, any decent playable card that can smooth your hand early and has uses in the late game always play out a little bit better than you would think. Alright, this hand has a 6-drop, a 7-drop, a shield mate. I'm gonna mulligan this. This just doesn't have enough going for it. Like, and that was simply just a mana thing. Alright, on the play here, let's ditch one of the spaceships. I want all my lands. Like, this is certainly a hand that's gonna lean very, very heavily on Singularity Rapture to try to win me the game. Alright, playing against another blue-black deck here. Cryogen Relic, okay. I mean, honestly, the mill on this might actually come in handy here. No need to play out the Hymn of the Faller just yet. Comet Crawler is the play from the opponent. And yeah, let's just go ahead and kill that. Then now we can play Hymn of the Faller. Mouth, I mean, I'm not bidding that anymore. Not in this matchup. Absolutely not. Probably don't need the Steel Swarm Operator, honestly. Nanoform Sentinel, okay. Yeah, let's just get this going. Discard this. Keep playing my land. Like, I want to hit, again, like, I'm happy just hitting all my land drops, and this is honestly not even that strong. Noting that this can actually be used to untap their land. So if they want to play something big... Okay, I guess not. I guess they don't want to play something big. Maybe they're just keeping up a counterspell. Memnon, what do you do? You may look at the top card of your library. Anytime. You may cast artifact. Artifact spells you control have tap, add a blue. Only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. Okay. Well, we milled them for a gazillion cards. Hopefully that's good enough. That's our other win condition, right? We just... if they're playing some kind of mid-range deck and I resolve Singularity Rupture, like, I'm usually going to get a 2-for-1, and I'm just going to mill them, and so there's a decent chance that they deck before I do. Alright, they're drawing a bunch of cards. Steel Swarm Operator, sure. Okay. Let's hope they don't have the counter spell. Perfect. But more importantly, I get to station this up. Now, they can't actually stun my Mouth of the Storm here because it's got Ward 2. They can still crack it to draw a card, but it might be in their best interest to do it on their turn, but they didn't. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. Alright, now we're at the point where I certainly would like some kind of action. Tractor Beam on Mouth of the Storm, okay. I can certainly bounce Mouth of the Storm. Ooh, they have a lot of card draw. Cryogen Relic. Cryogen Relic. I'm going to do this now before they have counter magic up. Like, getting this back seems worth it. I mean, there is a real shot. There is a real shot that, like... I mean, they still have 8 cards left, though. We'll see what else they have. Crack the Relic. Okay. Seven cards left. Beamsaw Prospector. Okay. I hope our opponent runs into the same issue that I did. 6 cards left. And like, there's a really good chance they just have, like, another removal spell here, too. Okay, they keep cycling. Okay. It's a lot of stuff. Sure. Alright, let's play this. Shrinks all their stuff. We can station this up. And I can freely attack here. Because they can't attack me next turn. And now we have a 6/6 and a 4/4 flyer. Like, even if they have removal, like, they have to deal with both of these creatures. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they actually have a lot of lands. 15. So they have... Okay, they only have 2 lands left now. I mean, but this isn't going to prevent me from, like, I'm still going to attack here. Now we are extremely flooded here. The reason why I didn't attack with just 1 is I think there was a good chance they had a removal spell. And because if they had a removal spell, like, they're going to take the damage anyways. This puts them on a 2-turn clock. Makes it tough for them to figure out what they need to do. Look, they're attacking for 5. They're keeping the operator back to block. Lightless Evangel, sure. Which can potentially be huge, by the way. So would love to draw something here. No land would be nice, but we drew land. Okay, so they block here, sack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that land was not ideal. I'm going to keep 1 creature back here. Just so we don't die to, like, a creature off the top, and I can keep the Mouth of the Storm back to block. And then now it's on them to decide whether or not they want to, like, block with their operator and surveil to just pump their Evangel. Because the Evangel can get very big. 3... so it can be a 3/3, and then they sack this and the lander. That's +2/+2. So this can be a 5/5. And then if they draw another creature off the top, it can be a 6/6. Dubious Delicacy. Okay. Sure. So no sacrifice then. Okay. And then they can decide what they want to do with that. They might want to try to drain me, actually. Alright, I'm at 8. Alright, this is actually getting kind of dangerous. Those back-to-back lands, not ideal here. Now I wish I had the Uthros, but, you know, at the time I didn't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, Mechian Assembler, sure. Oh, they get to sack the Prospector and make another token. Oh my gosh. I mean, I actually think I'm gonna die here. I mean, I need to draw something. Oh, wow. We drew a graph kill. Okay, so that's good. No attacks. 3 cards left. They might sack the Prospector here to turn on the Mechian Assembler. Are you kidding me? Specimen Freighter off the top. Yeah, that does it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's really unfortunate. They had 2 cards left, but we unfortunately kind of hit like a land pocket there at the end, and they were able to kind of draw out of it, so. I don't think there is a world where I can survive, but, you know, let's try, I guess. Wow. Just wow. 9-10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. So the last 2 cards in their library are lands. Most likely. No, they played a 16 land deck because they have some cycling. Alright, well, that seems pretty greedy for a blue-black deck, I will say. But, you know, they got it done. GG's. Ah, that one feels rough. It feels like I should have won that game most of the time. But of course, that's Magic, and that'll happen. Alright, it's okay. I still think our deck is solid, not insane. Let's try to win 5 in a row. No problem. Yeah, I mean, our opponent had a lot of card draw on their deck, too. Opponent on the play here. We have 2 islands on the draw. Lost in Space, a 7, a 5, a 6. I have the Alpharael. 8 black sources on the draw. Bounce spell. I mean, it's just such a disaster if I don't draw land here, but... I'm going to mulligan that hand. Alright, I'll keep this and I'll discard one of my 3 Alpharaels. Alright, Gene Pollinator turn 1 from the opponent. Alright. You know, given my hand, like, maybe I just don't even play the Operator on turn 2. And just use that as something that I can use to discard to the Alpharael. Alright, we'll take 2. Nice little aggressive start from the opponent. Now, if I draw, like, an artifact to play, then obviously that changes things, but... I just don't think this 2-mana 1/1 flyer does much, and the game plan with this hand is to just Wrath. So, well, they had nothing to play. Okay. Next turn, we can play the Scan Ship and start setting up. They can play the Fate Maker, put a counter here, I guess. It's like the best Pollinator ever. I'll take it. That is a Grav kill. I actually think I'm just going to use this now. Before, like, any tricks or mana is utilized here. And just try to play, like, a defensive game here. Like, that 3/4 is just going to do so much damage. Happy enough to block. Wait, they didn't have a creature to play there, so no counter gets anywhere, right? Oh, no, never mind. It's when it enters. Excuse me. They exiled my graveyard. Did I have anything in my graveyard? No. So they got a 3/1 here. I'm at 13. I mean, this is just such a good use of my mana. I'm just going to play the Titan here. See what they do. Like, the other option was playing Alpharael, which is okay. Blade of the Swarm. So it's a 5/3. Okay. 2 cards left in hand for the opponent. No removal spell. So that is certainly very nice for us. And I'm going to play... Ooh, this is actually kind of tough. Like, the Scan Ship is better if I'm trying to set it up with Singularity Rupture. This is better just because if they kill this, I can still block the Scrapbot. You know what? I'm gonna play it super safe here. I'm gonna play it super safe. Like, I just want to have another permanent in play. This is obviously not like an ideal trade, but gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, Command Bridge. Do they have removal? We don't know. That is a Star-Breached Whale. Alright, so now I think we go Scan Ship. Ooh, discard. I guess the Shield Mate seems like the worst of the options here. I'm at 13. Let's warp this in. Don't want the swamp, but I'll take the island. Let's pump this up. Six. Okay. Keep this back to block the scrap bot if needed. 3 cards in hand for the opponent. Block the scrap bot because it's needed. Galactic Wayfarer. Just trying to figure out what's in their hand. You know what I mean? Like, do I just ignore the Singularity Rupture? Maybe. I think that's the play. I think given what I have, it's like, forget trying to like sandbag the Singularity Rupture. Let's just beat our opponent down. Like, I have a Lost in Space, a Depressurize, and a Whale to play here. And they don't really seem to have a whole lot. There's, what, they're 4 colors? Okay. I mean, their hand could also just be a bunch of removal spells, which they would have used to kill Mouth of the Storm anyways, right? Like, if they go double removal, sure. Okay, that's a 0-point ballad. Uh-huh. Yeah. That sure is. They're at 10 life. Let's put that on top. And now I'm hoping they like overextend. Maybe they were sandbagging. Nope, they're not going to overextend. That's too bad. Sure. Here's my 6/6 flyer. The reason being, if I draw land number 8, I can play the Whale and the Scrap Bot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 5 different land types. Okay. 3 damage to any target. They draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. Sure. And it's got hexproof. It's a very expensive card. But my opponent's name is Draw a Card. So. So now they're... No, I mean, this was definitely good sequencing. They take less damage. They draw a bunch of cards. They're in position to come back here. Alright, don't want lands. I don't think I want Mechan's Shieldmate either. So let's do that. Let's play the Scrap Bot. Hymn of the Fallen almost assuredly will do something. I keep forgetting that like this exiles graveyards. And that does come into play for sure. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what they drew off of the Survey Mechan. We have 12 power in play. They have a Siege Ship Brood Tender. Okay. What did they mill? Okay. Ooh, they got a nice little Jund deck here. They can get Vault Guard Trooper back if they really want. 3 cards now in hand. Next turn I can sack the Lander and then cast Hymn of the Faller. I mean, if they're looking at their graveyard, it tells me that that's probably the best option that they have. And so I imagine like turning their 2/3 into a 5/5 is decent. But it still doesn't get around my 2 flyers, right? Oh, it looks like they just found a removal spell. That's also fine. Okay. Alright. Well, now they don't have the mana to get back their big thing. They have 2 cards in hand. So let's kill this. Oh, it's a bite spell? Sure. Still dies, but they don't get a big creature back, which is nice. I'm gonna keep this around. Let's just go with Hymn of the Faller. Don't want the land. We drew a land anyways. Into Cerebral Download, okay. I don't think they're playing Counterspell, so I'm going to hold off on the download. See what they do. 2 cards left. Edge, Rover, okay. Solid card, but I got a 3/5 flyer. Ooh, what is this? 5 mana, 20/20, station. Whenever you attack, it deals 100 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Okay. Sure. Alright. Don't want the land. We drew Specimen Freighter and 2 land. Oh my, this is just a lot of lands. Alright, what do I want to do here? Kind of out of action here. The question here is, do I want to depressurize the Edge Rover? Just so that they can't get up to 10? This also kills me, by the way. It's a 20/20. Interesting. I have 7 cards left in my library. Okay. So there might be some weird Specimen Freighter shenanigans, by the way. Just don't play an 8-powered creature, please. Sky Stinger. Okay. I don't think I want to sack the other one. 5, 6, and then I can play this again. Okay. Oh, I drew Depressurize, that's cool. So it becomes a 6/3. I gotta think here. Oh, man. So I can bounce my Whale and just Wrath. And mill my... What is it? Rounded down? Oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to sack the lander. I can only do this as a sorcery, so I couldn't do this. Alright, they have 5 cards, I have 4 cards. Okay. We're just keeping everything. I don't actually see, like, how, like... Here's the problem. The problem here is, how am I gonna... Oh, I do have the Specimen Freighter. That's what it is. Okay. Tanuk. Is it just a land? Oh, they also have a Hissing Quagmire. Or I thought... Oh, no, it's in their graveyard. Embrace Oblivion on the Whale. Oh, man. Oh, no. Can I choose not to draw? Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. So I go to 3 cards, then 1 card, 7. Alright, I'm actually gonna... I don't think I have to use this, but... I mean, I don't have any other way to win. So let's play it, I guess. I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! I don't have a way to kill them! Oh my gosh. Do I have a creature left? I'm not sure. This last card needs to be a creature, but I don't remember what it was. Oh my gosh, losing this way would just be so bad. Mono is Circuit Feeder. Okay, last creature. Last card needs to be a creature. Last card needs to be a creature. Come on! Oh, no! Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that is so sad. Okay. You know what? There are still learnings from this, okay? There are still learnings from this. Maybe I should have fired off the Rupture sooner. Alpharael was just okay. I had a little too much card draw, I guess. Man, and just not enough action. Just not enough action. I feel like in a format that has a lot of spacecrafts, like you just... honestly, getting the land, the one land off the lander, cost me. It truly did. Yep. By the way, that is the second time we decked ourselves with this deck. So, you know what? It's okay. Because the way that I look at this is, it's like, make these mistakes now. Format's going to reset soon. Learn and move on. Okay? And what did I learn? Number one, it's like I had too much, like, finding interaction in Dimir is not too difficult. And I did like my interaction suite. The problem was I just had way too many ways to cycle through my deck and not enough ways to close out the game. I had a bunch of spacecrafts, but I was very, very bad at stationing them. And this is the issue with vehicles, right? Where it's so hard to actually put together a good control deck that's trying to use spacecrafts as a late game way to kill your opponent. It just doesn't work, right? What did they need to do? I'm not sure, but when you look at just the cards in my deck, you know, I had a very, very high uncommon count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 uncommons and a rare, right? So by all measures, just like as a first-time drafter trying to draft a control deck going in, like you take this and you're like, oh, I have 3 of the signpost cards. How can I lose? Well, very easily, because I can't win. And so this is the mistake that I made drafting this archetype. The blue-red deck that I've played against seems much better. Like when I played against the blue-red deck, like you're a little more aggressive. You play to the board. You have things that can crew up your creatures, and it's just a lot better. But straight Dimir control, well, you're gonna need to find a better way to win the game than trying to win with spacecrafts. Or you're going to have to the thing is, if you draft a blue-black deck that's controlling, it's like getting the balance right of enough card draw plus creatures to station everything plus playing the spacecrafts. It's just like a tough puzzle to crack. Whereas if I play a blue-green deck, I'm just going to have a ton of creatures. If I play blue-red, I'll have a bunch of artifact creatures. So yeah, so I feel like going in, I thought this deck, the draft went pretty smoothly. And this looked like what a control deck should look like. But my mistake, my folly, was taking too many of these spacecrafts, thinking that they would perform about as well as, you know, for example, I thought the Scanship would perform about as well as side quest card collection. It absolutely does not, especially in this deck. And in general, the spacecrafts were just not particularly strong. Not in this deck. This is more maybe like a tempo card, or I just needed more ways to actually be able to crew this up. My removal was good. My card draw was good. Alpharael is just a bizarre card still to me. I don't think the card is bad by any means. It's just bizarre. Like, should this have been an artifact? Should this get lifelink instead of... There's just like so many... Like the death touch on your turn is just such a weird thing for this card to have. There's probably some flavor reason. But just what, in terms of what blue-black is trying to do, like, I don't know. So, the thing is, I actually like the blue and black cards in the format. Just, it just did not work here, and I will try to figure out why it didn't work and try to make those adjustments for future videos, because I felt like this was a pretty reasonable lane for us to be in, and it just didn't end up paying off. It just didn't. So, it is what it is. You know, I think the green-based decks are very, very strong, but green wasn't our seat, so we couldn't take that. I think I could have probably, looking back on this, I probably could have drafted a better blue-black deck and just not rely so heavily on the spacecrafts. In fact, the spacecrafts were probably just not very strong in general, and perhaps I'm supposed to lean on a bunch of Starbreach whales to win the game in the late game, right? Something along those, like, what else is expensive in blue-black that you can actually close out games with? That's something that I'm going to need to crack, or maybe blue-black is maybe every deck is supposed to play to the board a little more with more creatures. Like maybe you just have to have 13 to 14 creatures in every single deck to go with your 2 to 3 spacecrafts, and then that doesn't leave as much room for effects like Hymn of the Faller, which honestly I thought was just okay in this deck. Like there is definitely a setup cost, and then when you just play it for 2 mana, it's not particularly strong. So maybe I shouldn't also be taking this card as highly, just because I think Void is not free. Void is not free to pull off. Spacecrafts are not free in the sense that, like, in certain decks, they just don't work very well either. So there are some mechanics right now already that it's like, you know, Station might just not be a thing for blue-black, and Void might just not be particularly functional. It's like stuff that you have to, we'll discover. It's still very early, but certainly not everything is working as smoothly and as perfectly as I felt Final Fantasy did. But Final Fantasy had big shoes to fill. Anyways, that's enough me rambling. We went 2-3. We learned. We drew too many cards. Flew a little close to the sun. Had too much value. But now I know that this is too much value. We'll scale back. I won't take so many Hymn of the Fallers and Alpharaels, and I'll take more win conditions, and we'll make those adjustments in a future video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons. Also, check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want some booster boxes of Edge of Eternities, or you wanted some singles for your collection, or for your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, go to HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, live pads, and more, go to HeavyPlay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.